Hello and welcome to VR Reviews. Today we'll be reviewing the DC Direct Watchmen Series 2 Classic Nite Owl. So yeah, back whenever I was reviewing all my Watchmen figures, somehow I didn't review him. I think it's because he's the least interesting in the series in my opinion. But he's still a pretty good figure, at least as far as DC Direct figures go. So let's go ahead and zoom in for the articulation, sculpt paint details, all those sorts of things. Alright, start off with a quick size comparison. Of course, here we have Nite Owl. Here's our standard Marvel Legends 6-inch Superior Spider-Man, and our 3 3/4-inch Marvel Universe Wolverine. Now, Nite Owl, as is common with most DC Direct figures, is closer to a 7-inch scale. So he is a bit taller than Spider-Man, and a good bit taller than Wolverine. Now let's get the other two out of here, and just look at Nite Owl. Alright, moving on to our 360 spin. Here you can see Nite Owl. His upper torso is a gray sort of short sleeve collared shirt. It has lots of really nicely done stitching detail to it, as well as a little bit of yellow around the collar and stuff, and around the base of the sleeves. He has some black gloves on, both of fist hands, and they have little yellow rims around those as well. He has sort of like scale mail pants on, or just the upper part of pants, and a belt with a little boomerang moon-shaped thing attached to it. That's not removable, unfortunately. His legs are almost skin tone, but not quite. I believe they are supposed to be tights. And then he has some very nicely detailed boots that have really cool wrinkles sculpted into them, and they look a bit dusty, which is cool. They have a little yellow band around those as well. So that wraps it up for his body detail, which all looks very good. DC Direct is really good at detail work. Let's go ahead and zoom in on that head sculpt. Head sculpt-wise, Nite Owl looks really good. I'm going to be honest and say that I don't even remember what the actor that played old Nite Owl looked like. But the head sculpt looks good. I don't know how film accurate it is, but the detail's nice. The face is sculpted nicely. It has a little gray eye mask over there. And then his cowl hood-like thing has a yellow rim around it. Some more of that nice stitching detail on the top of it. And it has little owl ears and some ear cups over his actual ears. So all the detail on that looks really cool. Now let's zoom out and look at some articulation. Unfortunately, articulation is usually where DC Direct falls short, and Nite Owl is no exception to that. He has a cut at the head, he has ball-jointed shoulders, which actually blend in very nicely whenever they're down. I thought he only had cuts just from looking at him. Bicep cut, single hinge elbow, cut there at the wrist, cut hips, which move forward and back, and a hinge at the knee. He's certainly not the worst DC Direct figure I've ever seen, but he's nowhere near comparable with a Marvel Legend or any other highly articulated figure. Nite Owl doesn't come with any actual accessories, but he does come with a base, so let's go ahead and look at that real quick. Nite Owl's base is the same as all the bases you get with this Watchmen series. It has 2 pegs that you can poke into the bottom here, in any one of those 3 holes, but Nite Owl only has 1 foot peg hole thing, so having 2 pegs for him is fairly unnecessary. The base is essentially just a little bit of metal-looking scaffolding stuff. It's nicely detailed and nicely painted, but it's not particularly interesting or anything like that. So that about wraps it up for Nite Owl and all of his accessories. Let's move on to the packaging. Packaging-wise, you get a fairly standard version of the DC Direct packaging, and it is exactly the same as all the other Watchmen packaging. It's a windowed hanging box, which is always cool because they're resealable. Watchmen logo up there at the top, as well as some artwork of all the Watchmen characters. A big window there, Nite Owl Classic Collector Action Figure, DC Direct. On the back, you get a picture of some of the other figures in this particular series, which are Silk Spectre Classic, Comedian Dr. Manhattan, and Nite Owl Classic. I've reviewed all of these now except for Silk Spectre Classic because I do not have her, nor do I have the other Silk Spectre, which is listed down here with the also available from Series 1, which includes Ozymandias, Rorschach, Nite Owl, and Silk Spectre. I don't have Nite Owl or Silk Spectre, but I have reviewed Ozymandias and Rorschach if you want to look those up on my channel. And of course there is also a nice little description there if you want to read that. As is always the case with this style of packaging, this is good for in or out of package display, so yeah, Nite Owl Classic. Alright, that wraps it up for Nite Owl, so until next time, goodbye! Hello, you've just watched one of my videos. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed my videos. If you didn't, run away and never return. Also, feel free to check out my other channels, Venom Raptor for all my variety gaming content, and VR Reviews for reviews of various action figures and collectibles. Thank you, and goodbye.